Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker destroy Seth Rollins. Triple H ruined Aleister Black and Finn Balor. Why The Miz turned on Carmelo Hayes. Triple H is not interested in bringing Del Rio back. Lana undergoes medical procedures. Kevin Owens steals John Cena's looks. John Cena shatters records in just 24 hours. The WWE is pushing Stephanie Vaquer to the moon. Roman Reigns leaving WWE poses a major problem. Paul walks away from Seth Rollins after WWE SmackDown. Let's dive right in. Triple H ruined Aleister Black and Finn Balor. Since Triple H took over as WWE's creative head, the company's seen a massive shakeup. The game has boosted plenty of stars and shoved deserving names into the spotlight, but he's also left some talents high and dry, their potential ignored. His choices have sparked heat for shaky pushes, sudden character switches, and favoring big names over fresh faces. Sadly, the list of stars the game has mishandled is long. Here are 5 WWE stars Triple H has dropped the ball on. Number 1, Aleister Black's big return flops. Aleister Black came back to WWE in April this year for his second stint. What should have been a huge comeback fizzled out fast. Triple H didn't plug him into any big stories or feuds that could have shot him to the top. Instead, Black got stuck in random matches or pointless rivalries that went nowhere. All the excitement around his return faded due to awful booking. It feels like the creative team had zero plans for the 40-year-old. With his dark, eerie vibe, Black could have added a special twist to storylines, but WWE totally blew it, wasting his unique edge. Number 2, Finn Balor's star power fades. Finn Balor stands as one of Triple H's biggest missteps. The Prince was once a top-tier name on the main roster. His charm and one-of-a-kind ring style make him a standout. Plus, his demon alter ego sets him apart from the pack. But Triple H seems set on not using the veteran to his fullest. The 44-year-old's been trapped in the Judgment Day drama forever. Sure, Balor snagged the World Tag Team Championship with the group, but the creative team botched his title run, making him feel like an afterthought. His weak booking has dented his rep, landing Balor as another big name crushed by Triple H. Number 3, Julia's shine dims. The women's division hasn't escaped Triple H's booking woes either, and Julia's one of his worst fumbles. Signed as a major star from Stardom, the Beautiful Madness was a top player in NXT. Fans expected big things for her on the main roster, but once she hit SmackDown, everything flipped. Even though Julia won the Women's United States Championship, she barely defends it. The creative team turned her into a ghost champ, stuck in backstage bits with hardly any ring time. WWE hasn't pushed her as a major star despite her worldwide draw. Her dull booking has tanked her credibility, fading her star power. Number 4, Pete Dunne's lost in the shuffle. Pete Dunne's another talent left hanging. The 31-year-old was a beast in NXT UK, but not much clicked for him on the main roster under Triple H. Despite his Raw potential, Dunne's been drifting aimlessly on Raw for the past year, struggling to find his place. Word is WWE's been using him as a luchador alongside El Grande Americano on Raw, sticking a mask on him. For a guy who built a name as Pete Dunne, giving him a new identity feels off. It's fair to say the creative team dropped the ball. WWE failed to make Dunne a top name on the main roster. Number 5, Austin Theory's push crumbles. Austin Theory's one of the biggest stars Triple H has buried. The 28-year-old was handpicked by Vince McMahon as a future main event star, but the game tanked him, hurting Theory's character and wiping out his momentum. WWE tried pairing him with Grayson Waller, but when it was time to cash in by turning him into a fan favorite, Triple H didn't make the move. Theory naturally won over fans, and the creative team had a perfect chance to refresh his character after A-Town Down Under split, but the game let it slip, keeping Theory off TV and wasting a huge moment. Why The Miz turned on Carmelo Hayes. The Miz and Carmelo Hayes' tag team, known as Melo Don't Miz, is officially done. The former WWE champion turned on his partner this week on SmackDown, breaking up their team. But this betrayal was brewing for a while. Things had been rocky between them for weeks. While Hayes focused on his solo run, The Miz kept pushing him to stick to the tag team plan. Plus, splitting them up might be part of a bigger WWE strategy. Here are 3 reasons why The Miz turned on his teammate Carmelo Hayes. Hayes has mostly played a bad guy or an in-between character on SmackDown since his main roster debut last year, but a good guy run has been in the works lately. Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net recently said WWE's got plans to make the 31-year-old a babyface. WWE does want Melo as a babyface, so let's see how they execute that. Hayes has been a favorite of WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H since his NXT days. The game's been loud about his respect for the 31-year-old, and that might be a big push for Hayes' shift to a crowd pleaser. Another reason for The Miz's betrayal ties back to last week's SmackDown. The duo faced off against former tag team champs the Street Profits. The Miz tried to call the shots again, snagging a tag from Hayes without his okay. This ticked off the former NXT champion, who later refused to save The Miz from getting pinned. This week, The Miz confronted Hayes backstage, demanding to know why he left him hanging. Hayes' cold response didn't help cool things down. That backstage clash set the stage for the split. When The Miz grilled Hayes about not having his back in the tag match last week, Hayes fired back, saying The Miz should have kicked out on his own. When The Miz insisted tag partners watch out for each other, Hayes snapped that The Miz was always controlling him. Finally, he declared, "This is done. signaling the end of their team. That pushed The Miz over the edge, leading to him dropping Hayes with a skull-crushing finale. The two might square off one-on-one next week on SmackDown, where Hayes could beat The Miz, kicking off his official run as a fan-favorite star in WWE. Triple H is not interested in bringing Del Rio back. WWE's takeover of AAA has brought in lots of fresh faces from the Stamford Company to their events. Even Dominic Mysterio holds the AAA Mega Championship right now, along with his Intercontinental title. But Alberto Del Rio's spot since the takeover stays up in the air. Back in July this year, Del Rio lost a loser leaves AAA match. El Macias beat him and took the win. Since then, Alberto has wrestled at Lucha Libre shows, but he hasn't joined any WWE AAA crossover stories. This comes as a real shock, especially since Del Rio ranks as one of AAA's top names. A report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter just cleared up the 48-year-old star's status. The report said the Stamford Company picked up Del Rio's AAA contract in the takeover, but no final word has come out, and things remain fuzzy. This covers what the deal means, and if the sports entertainment giant will put him in crossover plots. Earlier reports from Fightful Select said the Triple H-led team has no interest in pulling Del Rio back to the company. They stick hard to that choice. So, this insider contract might mean they won't bring him back into the fold. Del Rio has already stacked up big wins as a pro wrestler. The Mexican star is a former two-time WWE champion, World Heavyweight champion, and United States champion. During a chat on the Grilling JR podcast, Jim Ross praised Alberto Del Rio, calling him a sharp performer. He also thinks Del Rio's return to the Stamford Company wouldn't catch him off guard. He added that the former WWE star being bilingual gives the ex-US champion another strong edge. It wouldn't surprise me. He's a very good talent. He has a great look. Being bilingual is another positive selling point. His issues are his reliability because of what you, host Conrad Thompson, already talked about. There's issues there. He's outspoken. There's nothing wrong with being outspoken, that's a fact. But sometimes his timing isn't as good as one would ideally like. All that takes is communication and management. Despite all this, the call sits with Triple H, and whether the King of the Kings will bring him back is anyone's guess. Lana undergoes medical procedures. Rusev has been shaking things up on Monday Night Raw since his comeback earlier this year. But he's not the only one back with the company. His wife and ex-star Lana signed a Legends deal too. She hasn't shown up on TV yet. Now she opened up about facing a major health step that could change her life. Lana and Rusev have ridden a rocky road together. They tied the knot in 2016 and split in 2023. But the pair patched things up in March this year. Lana posted a couple of stories on her official Instagram. One calling on fans to walk with her through her IVF process as she sat in the hospital. In the next, she explained skipping a recent UFC event with her co-host because she's deep in her IVF journey with her husband, Rusev. Rusev has kicked off a fresh beef with the current Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio, on Monday Night Raw. The two went at it on the September 29th episode of The Red Brand, with Dirty Dom's WWE Intercontinental Championship up for grabs. Mysterio pulled off his slick heel plan and landed a reverse low blow on Rusev while the referee looked away. He stole the win with a roll-up and held onto his title, but that shady ending hints their story is just starting and far from over. The two could clash again soon, and the Bulgarian brute might take down Dirty Dom to grab the IC title in the weeks ahead. It'll be a wild watch to see how Rusev juggles his WWE push and IVF path with Lana in the months to come. Kevin Owens steals John Cena's looks. Kevin Owens might not be part of John Cena's retirement tour, but he's definitely got the legend on his mind. The former Universal Champion dressed up as the iconic star for an early Halloween celebration with his family. Owens has been sidelined since March with a neck injury that's left his wrestling future up in the air. The prizefighter had surgery recently and will likely be out for a while. It's unclear when or if he'll step back into a WWE ring. Still, KO's keeping his spirits high and enjoying family time. His wife, Karina, shared Instagram stories of their Halloween outing, showing Kevin decked out in full John Cena gear. The look was a hit, even scoring them a free cake at Starbucks. Owens might have done it as a nod to Cena, especially after the 17-time world champ paid tribute to him. Plus, KO's son, Owen, is a huge Cena fan, so the costume could have had a few reasons behind it. As noted, John Cena recently showed love to Kevin Owens. Last month, during a United States Championship match against Sami Zayn, Cena hit a pop-up powerbomb, a move tied to KO, as part of his ongoing salute to past rivals he won't face again. Cena and Owens had an epic rivalry in 2015, with a trilogy of intense, hard-hitting matches. KO even scored a clean win over the 17-time world champ in his first ever WWE main roster match at Elimination Chamber in May that year. While Cena won the feud at Money in the Bank and Battleground, that first victory put KO on the map. It made the WWE crowd take him seriously, turning him into a major player. No wonder there's mutual respect between these two. John Cena shatters records in just 24 hours. John Cena's WWE farewell tour is winding down fast, with just a few matches left on his calendar. The Senation leader's last ring action came at WrestlePalooza. The last real champion now preps for his next major test against AJ Styles at Crown Jewel Perth. But before that big fight, the leader of Senation has smashed sales records on the WWE shop. An ex-Twitter account pointed out fresh data from the site, showing John Cena's Perth gear flew off the shelves in 24 hours. 383 t-shirts, 14 special edition spinner belts, and 137 towels and sweatbands. This alone proves why John Cena earns the GOAT label in pro wrestling and why he's such a powerhouse for the Stamford Company. On the Wrestling Time Machine show, veteran wrestling journalist Bill Apter gave his take on the last real champion's final match this year at Saturday night's main event. Apter said he wants John Cena to lift up the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. We don't know who his opponent is going to be yet. A lot of people are speculating it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Cena is going to get the win over Lesnar to get even, but I don't think that's going to happen. What I would like to see happen, there's another guy I want to see come back and be Cena's final opponent. That would be Gunther. I think that would be a great final match. I want to see Cena versus Gunther in Cena's retirement match. And if Cena doesn't win, it's okay. Gunther gets stronger with the win over John Cena, Bill said. The ring general faced Goldberg in his retirement match earlier this year. It'll be a thrill to see what the Triple H-led creative team lines up for Cena, as he has only a few dates left on his schedule. The WWE is pushing Stephanie Vaquer to the moon. Wrestling vet Bill Apter recently broke down Stephanie Vaquer's quick climb in WWE. The star lines up for a massive bout at Crown Jewel. Vaquer topped Sky at WrestlePalooza to claim the empty Women's World Championship. Since then, she has turned into one of the women's division's biggest names. Now she preps for a high-stakes champion versus champion clash at Crown Jewel for the Crown Jewel Championship in Perth, Australia. On a recent episode of the Wrestling Time Machine with Mac Davis, Bill Apter said Stephanie had a strong shot at victory. He noted that over the last few months, La Primera has proven herself as one of WWE's elite performers and won over crowds fast. The vet pointed out both women shine in the ring, but Vaquer holds a clear advantage heading in. Oh, I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to beat her. I really do. Right now, Stephanie Vaquer is the top-shelf female athlete in WWE. She has caught the fans by storm, and as hot as Tiffany is in the ring, I think Stephanie has to win this, Apter said. This week on SmackDown, the two women met for the contract signing. General Manager Nick Aldis oversaw the moment and made sure both put pen to paper, locking in the match. Julia and Kiana James tried to jump in and even slammed Tiffany Stratton on the entrance ramp. They pushed Stephanie to join them, but the women's world champion turned them down. With Stratton, she fought back and took them out. It will be a thrill to see which woman claims the Women's Crown Jewel Championship this coming Saturday. Roman Reigns leaving WWE poses a major problem. Roman Reigns just came back to WWE, and it's a real lift for the current lineup. But big stars like him stepping away creates headaches, says veteran journalist Bill Apter. The OTC ranks as one of the top draws in the Stamford Company today. But like other major names, he's often gone for long stretches. Apter sees nothing wrong with that, but his time away leaves a big empty spot in the active group. With no one else matching his pull, it hurts. On the Wrestling Time Machine with Mac Davis, the veteran journalist explained, "Because of the days of the territories, I am used to them leaving and coming back. But when they leave, they need to have someone of equal star power to take their place to draw people. And a lot of times, that is not happening. A lot of times, the shows get unfortunately a little too bland because they just don't have that superstar on that particular show, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. That super talent might be missing on that show." Bill Apter also said the OTC is headed for a clash with Seth Rollins in WWE soon. On the same episode of the Wrestling Time Machine, Apter shared, "Well, obviously he's going to be back with Jey Uso, who, if you watched Raw, people out there. If you watched Raw, you see that he really didn't warm up to Jimmy Uso much at all because Jey and Jimmy have been on the wrong side of each other. So I think he is going to try and make peace between Jimmy and Jey, and they're going to go against the Brons most likely, and Seth Rollins. I think that's where this is going. For now, fans will have to keep watching to see what comes next for Roman in WWE. Roman deserves his spot as a game changer in the company's long story. His segments always pull in the most eyes. His Raw return had him protecting Jimmy and Jey Uso from Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. This seems to line him up against Seth Rollins' crew. On the Wrestling Time Machine with Mac Davis, Teddy Long said, "Well, I think it's a good move for Roman. I mean, I have just watched quite a bit of Raw show. I have been looking at it, and I think they could use him. They really need him over there." While Seth Rollins might be Roman's target in the weeks ahead, Bully Ray thinks the Visionary still can't match the OTC in one key way. On Busted Open, the WWE veteran shared, "People genuinely love Cody. Children love Cody. Thus, the parents love Cody. Roman has a godlike aura to him. You feel like you are amongst royalty when Roman comes out. Plus, he has that Samoan heritage and bloodline, which we respect so much in wrestling, but respect even more in the WWE. Punk, the consummate rebel, the guy who has always been the voice of the voiceless and the people's guy. He added, all three of those guys have a unique emotional connection. Emotion? That's all this effing business is about. The emotional manipulation of the fan base and how you can get them to love you or hate you anymore. That's it. Seth doesn't have that level of emotion yet, and he's been around for a long time. For now, fans will have to keep watching to see what comes next for Roman in the weeks ahead. Paul walks away from Seth Rollins after WWE SmackDown. Seth Rollins let his emotions run wild on last night's WWE SmackDown, and it left a Key Vision member fuming. The October 3rd episode saw Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed pull off a shocking tag team win over Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, but they needed Seth Rollins' dirty work, stomping Orton behind referee Dan Engler's back to seal it. The Vision snagged the victory, but things went south for Rollins. As Rhodes checked on Orton, Rollins ignored Paul Heyman's warning and rushed the ring to stomp the undisputed WWE champion. The American Nightmare played him, luring Rollins in and hitting a crossroads to thrill the crowd. Rollins paid for brushing off Heyman's advice. After SmackDown ended, unseen footage popped up online showing the Oracle walking away from the Visionary, clearly fed up. Seth Rollins faces Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel Championship at the Premium Live event on October 11th in Australia. The Visionary is dead set on beating the American Nightmare, who's topped him 3 times before. Rhodes has kept the edge in their Crown Jewel build-up. Rollins' obsession with his rivals is tripping him up again, and after last night's SmackDown, the World Heavyweight Champion faces an uphill battle. Can the ex-Shield star flip the script next week? Fans will have to keep watching to see. Meanwhile, some fans on X noticed Seth Rollins ditched his blonde hair for an all-black look. The Visionaries switched up his style yet again. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker destroy Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and his manager Paul Heyman have been clashing lately. This week's SmackDown made it obvious when Rollins ignored Heyman's warning. Here are 3 ways Seth Rollins might pay for blowing off Paul Heyman in WWE. Paul Heyman could flip on Seth Rollins any day now by getting the Brons to turn on their boss. Heyman and Rollins clicked well since teaming up at WrestleMania 41. But Brock Lesnar's return at SummerSlam 2025 changed everything. Heyman's quiet chat with Brock Lesnar on SmackDown a few days back, and the Wiseman calling out Lesnar at WrestlePalooza shocked everyone. Plus, Cody Rhodes' heads up to Rollins and the Brons about Heyman's shaky loyalty might have sunk in for the Visionary. The group could crack soon, with Paul Heyman stabbing Seth in the back. Another hit from Seth Rollins ignoring Paul Heyman's call could be the Wiseman talking the Beast into taking over the group. Signs point strong to Brock Lesnar teaming with Heyman soon, marking their final WWE run as a pair. This might hit after Crown Jewel, with Brock Lesnar jumping Seth Rollins on Heyman's say-so. That could spark a good guy shift for Rollins, leading to a one-on-one war with the Beast at WrestleMania 42. In that match, Brock might beat Rollins to grab the new World Heavyweight Championship. After his beef with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman could walk from the Vision and head back to Roman Reigns and the Usos to rebuild the bloodline. But first, the Oracle might turn on Rollins, costing him the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then he could slide in with Roman Reigns and patch up Jimmy and Jey Uso to form the classic bloodline again. It's a stretch, but after Seth Rollins flat out ignored Heyman's plan, you can't rule it out. It'll be a thrill to watch how Heyman and Rollins roll in the next few weeks. Will the Wiseman stick with Rollins, or is something darker brewing? We'll know soon.